Yep. All right, welcome to week 9 here. It's been a little bit. We've had some spring break. We've had some people not on campus, all sorts of crazy stuff. We've had a bye week for Valorant last week and just all sorts of craziness, but we are back in action. We're back live, so welcome back to the GHC Esports Twitch, Facebook stream, YouTube stream, whatever you're joining us on. Welcome back. We're excited to have you back, and like I said, this is week 9. This is the final week of regular season here for the Valorant team. So we are very excited for that happening. And we have a huge matchup in front of us between ourselves and Harper College, the Hawks from Harper College. It is a big matchup as this has a lot of implications on it for possible playoff caliber things, and seeing if the Chokers are able to get into playoffs here in the NJCAAE.
Launching smoke.
Cutting their vision.
Enemy spotted B.
Spike down B.
Reloading.
So as you can see, Chokers are starting on the left side of things. LG just not able to get
Last player standing.
the elimination right there, and it's going to leave Nice Aim all by himself here as Sage. He does get one, where the ace is already in play for the Hawks from Harper College.
Remember, Brimstone. If anything happens to you, I'll take the lead.
Really great opponents across the way, like we talked about. I believe the Hawks, I'm trying to look up the exact standing so I can have my information completely correct, but the Hawks, I believe, were sitting in 2nd place in our division, where the top 2 get an automatic bid into playoffs. Rest of them are kind of figured out by some tiebreakers, but you never really want to get into the tiebreakers in general. Where, yes, I'm correct, the Harper College Hawks are sitting at a 5-2 record right now, where the Chokers are just right below, or right behind them at 4-3, so able to get a victory and tie with them, and both have a 5-3 record, and then own the tiebreaker of having the head-to-head victory against them.
Spike down B.
Got the spike.
So Ferdizzle's not quite able to get that kill, but they did swap. It looks like Tobias was able to get in there and be able to get that kill. So Chokers are up 1 right here. They hold the advantage, being able to not only have 3 agents compared to the Hawks 2 agents, but also have a really good sign in LHC and Tobias still alive here, along with Zodette.
Smoke's down. Stim beacon down. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
They do get the swap. It's going to be a 2v1.
Last player standing.
Right as that gate is closing, Tobias is picked off by the Sova from the other team. So Killjoy, aka Odette, is going to try and hold down the fort right here and just see if she can get Spike to... Oh, and just not able to get the elimination right there. And so Sova is going to have plenty of time to be able to get the defuse there on the Spike. So the Hawks are going to go up early here with a 2-0 lead.
That poor Viper. We didn't have to be your enemy.
So really close fought division so far for the Chokers throughout the season. Like I said, sitting at 4-3, have had some really close games, been able to be in it towards the end. Just a couple of rounds here and there make the difference. But you see, just from the top down, Fort Scott has really been able to stand out and be the victors, and they're going to take the division no matter what. They've already clinched it up as they're 7-0, have not lost yet. Where everybody else has just kind of been able to beat up each other. As you see, Tobias actually loses the Reyna off right there, and so the Reyna from the other team is able to get the elimination on him. But you've got Harper College, who we're playing right now at 5 and 2.
Party's
Howard
over.
CC at 5 and 2. Zhao is already at 5 and 3, and then the Chokers sit at 4 and 3. So trying to get up to that 4-5
Last player standing.
teams. And it's
We
going to be
tend to
down to
dust.
nice aim. He's able to get another elimination there again. So he's looking at a 1v2. Still doable. It's a tough task in front of him, but we'll see if he's able to pull it off here. He's going to have the spike, so he does at least have the advantage of being able to plant if he can get somewhere. Gonna make sure he checks all of his corners.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
gets one, so now it's a 1v1. They are going to know where he is, though, but he's going to go ahead and try and play and see if he can hold down
Wall raised.
the fort over here on site plan
30
B.
seconds left.
He's going to run back around and get the spike initiated.
You
It's
should
going to be
run.
planted.
No charges left.
Killjoy's going to activate her ult, and although typically a lot of times you see that spike planted on the other side of the box, it's actually a really good spike plant spot for him right now because he's able to keep an eye on it. He's going to be able to heal himself, so that's a benefit right there of Sage, and he's just got to kind of keep an eye and a little bit of an ear out for when that diffusion might start to happen. Not able to get that elimination as Killjoy kind of comes around the corner where he wasn't expecting, and there's going to be enough time for Killjoy to be able to defuse this spike. So really back-to-back rounds of being able to get that spike down, being able to get a little bit of momentum there. So we'll see if the Chokers are able to start to build
more
on that
doubts.
and start to grab a
We're
couple
ready.
of rounds here and there and make this a little bit more competitive.
Tactics beat firepower. Use that. I have the spike.
Turret out.
Watch this!
Cutting their vision. Feeling sight.
Headshot. Weapon here. Blocking sight. Blocking sight. Barrier created.
Who trained
So
you?
it looks like Nice Aim's able to kind of get behind, try
Out
to
of
get a
charges.
sneaky plant right there.
Launching
I
smoke.
think the hive bomb kind of drew them out of there, but the
Reloading.
Chokers are going to get kind of control right here of this B site, have the spike planted. They are going to oh geez, almost two. You can get a lot
Last
coming
player
in right
standing.
there from the Hawks. Tobias has got a last stand to make right here.
One enemy
Gonna get-
remaining.
oh, he gets the
Clutch.
collateral kill right there. They line up right in front of him and get the huge clutch kill from Tobias.
We're gonna
I think it
win.
was even a double
No other
headshot
option.
too. Just a
Let's go.
fantastic kill right there. So honestly, a big round there from the Chokers. The difference between going down
Reloading.
4-0 and getting to that 1-3 is actually a really big momentum and confidence thing. So we'll see how they're able to play with that. I did see that Nice Aim has one of the new skins. I think he's using the Phantom. And, yep, he just pulled it out right there. So kind of a cool little thing. It has
Together.
a black
Right
and
here.
white drawing of every one of the agents that you can see right there. And with each kill that you get, one of those agents will actually be posted in. And so you see right there, who is it, Chamber? Chamber and Omen actually get colored in. So if he's able to grab another kill, it'll just slowly over time color in those, bring some color into those agents. So kind of a cool thing. Oh, and it looks like actually, I can't tell who that is in the front, but they got colored in too. Ah, yeah. Ooh, wow, walked right over.
Spike down
that.
B.
Tobias gets the 2K right there to even things up for him, and is actually going to start to grab the healing after it too. So really even
Feeling
this
sight.
right back up.
Cutting their vision.
Viper's got her wall up right there.
Nowhere
So
to
we get a
run.
really good
Last
recon
player
drone out
standing.
there and is able to use his ult to be able to survive. It's going to be a 1-on-2 and not quite able to pull it off right there. As Gab just barely missed the shot, but runs into a shorty
Is
right there
everyone's
around
tech
the
still
corner.
working? Double
when
check
you
it,
get close
please.
combat with a sawed-off shotgun in your face, it's usually not the easiest battle to win. So. So you're heading into
Right here.
round 6. So if I do my math correctly in my head, I believe there's
Right here.
6 or 7 more rounds to be played before you get into the side swap. You're already down 3-round deficit, so you want to try and start to
Right
chip
here.
away at that and have as small of a deficit as possible going into the switch and being able to get into the defensive side of things where you can kind of play control it a little bit more.
Enemy spotted mid.
For you.
Spike carrier is hard.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Flawless.
Stand tall. We are Valorant. We are fighters.
Right here.
Reloading.
Spikes here. Here.
Right here. Right here.
Time for
Time
a field
out.
test.
Outside carrier is dead.
Spike down B.
Launching smoke. Headshot.
Ooh, nice. LSU's able to get back-to-back headshots right there. Puts them in a little bit of advantage. Knows that I think it was the Viper that was around the corner here, maybe?
Reloading.
So at least knows the whereabouts of one of either Sova or Viper. They might try and see if LHC's going to go. It's going to be Sova, as I can tell by the recon bolt coming around the corner. I thought maybe LSU was going to try and go down mid and see if they can kind of pinch that person, but there are 2 of them left, so you don't want to get too pushy. And so here's what I was talking about. LHC's going to kind of come around the corner. They know that they've got somebody pinched right there, so if they're able to grab this pick, it'll put them in a really good situation, be able to go and get spike planted. Well, in general, get the spike too, as you can see it's over there in the corner.
Last
Gonna get
player
Sova right around
standing.
here in the
That's
corner, so
one
you're gonna get a
enemy remaining.
1v1.
Smoke's down. Got the spike.
LHC is low on health right here, just like I talked about. It's gonna be a pretty easy one tap right when he comes around the corner. Just not able to see him quick enough right there, and so the chokers are gonna go down.
Great knowing you all.
Have a 5-round deficit in their hands right here.
Right here.
Need equipment. Thanks.
Turret out.
Safety's off. Right here.
Enemy spotted mid.
And so for Dizzle, aka Gab, pulls out the Marshall and decides to take a little bit of long distance battle to the Hawks. He grabs 1 elimination, so it's at least somewhat worked so far. Oh, she's gonna play out the blast buddy and see if he doesn't have to reveal his location. He's not able to, or doesn't have to, sorry.
Reloading.
They're just kind of trying to feel things out. They've got 1 down, so they're up 1 agent right here and trying to figure out possibly maybe where the Hawks are, where maybe they're weak in some of their defenses and which site they were going to want to push together. So it looks like 4 of them are going to go
Smoke's down.
a little bit heavy into B right here. Not able to get Vipers just a good enough smoke to be able to get enough of the vision of LHC
30 seconds
out right
left.
there. Really good placement of that. And in the same time, it looks like there was a mid battle that went on, and Gab was not able to win it, so Chokers are actually now down 1 agent on their end of things. Tobias is able to learn from
10
LHC
seconds
there,
left.
though. comes around the corner, gets Viper, gets Sova, so goes
One
back up
enemy
one,
remaining.
gets raised two.
Spike planted.
The spike is going to be planted, so now they've just got to hold and win this 3v1 battle. It's still going to be a tough one. It's not a lock at all because you've got that Killjoy in the other team who has definitely been popping off
You
so
should
far this
run.
match. Pops their Killjoy, and there's not enough room to be able to run to. Oh, there actually is a little corner right here for the Chokers that they're going to be able to stand in and avoid the enemy Killjoy. Neither one of them get detained. They win it off, and Tobias is able to grab the elimination right there. So just enough room right there for both Killjoy and
respect their elders.
Reyna to survive. So Tobias pulls a big play right there for the Chokers.
Right here.
Placing sentry.
As you heard at home, I had an alarm set for myself. I'm glad that I said it because I actually almost forgot that Grace Harbor's
Launching
baseball
smoke.
team has a game starting at 5 that I'm supposed to follow along and do their tweets for them. So I'm going to be a little bit of multitasking as LG is able to get the first pick right there. Maya Mura is what I'm going to go with. Maya Mura. The Reyna for the Hawks is down early here in the match.
Launching smoke.
It was a recipe for success last round when they were able to get the first pick. We see the Chokers are able to do so again. Gap's going to get a little bit aggressive right here, try to peek through the smoke. See if he can get a pick. He's able to do so.
Cutting
Grabs
their
the Viper, knows that there was somebody shooting
Here.
through the wall. Or actually, maybe that was them.
vision. Defender spawn.
Enemy.
Our
Last
spike's
player
down.
standing.
And real quickly, Hawks are able to turn the tides on the Chokers and get quite a few eliminations right in a row, get through all 5 of them.
This time?
And what was
Remember
looking
what
to
worked in the
sure up to be
past.
a good round victory for the Chokers was flipped on its head by the Hawks, and they're able to take a 7-2 lead.
Here.
Right here.
What's this?
Just missed, but who was able to? Tobias once again is able wins the Reyna off once again and is able to clean up. Gap just barely missed with Marshall right there, and it looks
Placing the
like
entry.
possibly there's Sova's peeking around trying to see if he can get a couple of long distance shots there.
Smoke's down. Reloading.
Give me those back.
Gap goes into ult and is going to sling some blades around, is able to pick off their Viper, puts Chokers in another good situation. Spike's going to be planted, and they're going to have a 5v3 to be able to hold this off.
Reloading.
5v2 now as LG's able to pick off Sova.
One enemy remaining.
And
Flawless.
you're going to get a flawless victory there from the Chokers, so not only are they able to inch closer in that deficit, but from my side of things, I'm sure you're instilling some momentum, some confidence in your team as you just said, wow, we just completely were able to get a flawless victory right there in that round, so why can't we do it again, get some confidence and really start to get dangerous going into, let's see, so this is round 11, you got 2 more rounds left under your belt before you get into the switch. And really the Chokers do have a pretty solid lineup to be able to be successful in the defensive
Smoke's
side of
down.
things. You've got Sage that can always put up their wall. There is a lot of gadgets and gizmos and abilities for Killjoy that make them extremely usable and extremely valuable in the defensive side
Enemy
of things.
spotted mid.
You've got the smokes, 3 different smokes that can be placed basically anywhere in the vicinity of
Reloading.
LHC basically, and then you've got
Reloading.
your duelist Jet and Reyna that will just go out there and get your kills when you need to.
Carrier's down.
Spike down mid.
Launching smoke.
I have the spike. Reloading.
down.
Still inside.
Stim beacon here. Open up the sky.
Enemy spotted.
Down and out.
30 seconds
A lot
left.
of action that happened right there. Chokers try to push A and happen to run right into basically the
Last
team of the
player
Hawks right
standing.
there. Ellis is going to be down. Tobias tries to make a little something happen, but not able to do so. So going to lose
Last
this round,
round
go
before
down
the
8-3, and
switch.
you're going to have your last
We
round
cannot
going
keep our
into
goods
before
after
the
this.
switch.
Spend
Where the
all.
Chokers will then go on to the defensive side of things.
Reloading.
Right here.
Don't overthink it. That's my job. Here.
Smoke's down.
Doing some quick
Last
couple of
player
hits here.
standing.
Wow, almost everybody down, and you see it happen just so fast that you can't even track really with it. Hawks are able to completely decimate the Chokers
Switching
lineup
sides.
right there before the last, or in the last round before the switch. So Chokers will go into the defensive side of things, where, like we talked about, a little bit better of a lineup setup for defensive side of things, so they can make the difference here. But they've got to be able to come back and get to that 12 before they let up. What is it?
Sentry.
Right
4
here.
gives the victory here for the Hawks, and so we've got to be able to put a lot of victories and a lot of round wins strung together.
You know what to do.
And Tobias tries to see if he can get a pick. It seems like the Reynas always find each other here in this match so far. And so Gab's going to go ahead and flip the gate down, as he knew that they were coming from that mid lane, and makes them at least have to blow through that door or go around here. But Hawks look to be making an aggressive push here to site B. Able to pick 2
Last
around the corner,
player
get another one,
standing.
and leave just Killjoy.
Spike
And before
down
we're even
B.
able to switch the cameras that happen that fast, are able to grab the rest of the team. So Hawks come out and win that
Race into the
first
spike
pistol
site.
round, give themselves the advantage heading into this next one too, because they're going to have the money to be able to spend, and they're only a couple of rounds away, so I would not be surprised to see money being spent by them. Chokers really got to hope that they can have a low buy round here, stay with their pistols, basically their secondaries, and be able to win and get themselves even back up Reds wise.
Keep it cool. That's how you survive. Sova removed. Bye.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
It's gonna be 1v1 to try and see if they can be able to pull it off here. Killjoy's not able, Zodet's not able to get the kill right there, but I don't know if she even would have had quite enough time
Even
to be
with
able to
numbers,
defuse the
anything
spike
can
there
still
anyways,
happen.
but
Remember that.
at least forcing the Hawks to get down to a 1v1,
Reloading.
so it could gain a little bit of momentum. You're going to see some creds being able to be spent here. Chokers are going to get their guns and see if maybe now that they get their primaries in their hands, they're able to make a little bit of damage here on this defensive side of things.
Alarm bot out.
And this is what we talked about with Killjoy just being a really big asset here on the defensive side of
Time
things.
for a field
Gets their
test.
turret set up, gets their alarm bots out, so they can kind of be able to not have to peek as much, but have some indicators of possibly which way the Hawks are going to come is you get an early swap right there. Nice aim. Tries to come around the corner and see if they can get raised without giving up their position by taking out that ability right there. And you're going to see if Tobias is going to try and see if he can get possibly that raise to come around the corner too. They're going to hold A here hard to try and see if they're coming, but there's that benefit of Killjoy. The alarm bot goes off, kind of showing the team that they've actually rotated over to B now.
Ah, tear it down.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Fortunate time right there of trying to use the ability, just left Tobias completely exposed. They go right through Tobias and through.
Match point.
I think it was Jet left with them,
I
so
want their life, not
Chokers
yours.
have their back up against the wall here.
Drop. Thanks.
Got to be able to rattle off. Geez, they've got to be able to rattle off 9 in a row now before letting the Hawks be able to take this one.
Placing alarm
So
bot.
it all starts with the first round in front of them. They just got to be able to focus one round at a time. Say, how do we go and win this round? And then once they do, hopefully put themselves in a good situation, creds-wise and guns-wise, and be able to go and take multiple in a row.
Enemy spotted A.
You should run.
Gab gets a good shot right there with the Guardian. And it looks like Killjoy's been activated over on site A, so
Launching smoke.
possible that they're looking to try and get a site push. It's also possible that they could be trying to bluff.
Spike
Shots
down
coming out of
A.
smoke over there, so I'm sure. Oh my goodness.
Last player
Kills through
standing.
the smoke right there.
Fire in the
So
hole.
Chokers are down to just Tobias right here.
One enemy
Gonna try
remaining.
and win this with the Odin, not able to do so. As it
Attackers
looks like
win.
the blast pack is able to take out Tobias there at the end, so Chokers are not able to win map. Kind of dominated by the Hawks the whole time, but like we talked about before, some teams really thrive on certain maps and some teams don't, and so it could be just possibly, as you see a pretty even spread out there for both teams, it could just be that the Hawks are really confident on Ascent, walked in and were able to kind of start their dominance and take it right there. So we'll see how the Chokers are able to bounce back here, as I didn't quite see the conversations that were going down in between maps as they did their map banning and figuring out where they're going to go. So I'm not really sure exactly which map we're going to go to after this. I think Zero thinks that we're possibly going to bind, so we'll. Oh, yep, they already got put in, so they're going to go to bind. We're going to get a little quick change here of servers to try and see if maybe we can get a little bit evened. As ping is always tough for us here on the West Coast. You always play. Majority of the teams that we see are either central or go over to that eastern side of the state, so it's always tough to find a very equal place to have the ping. So kudos and a thank you, I guess, so to say, to the Hawks for being able to switch it for this one. And so Chokers will go in. Looks like, I think they're all set up and ready to roll. So it looks like we're going to be on defense here, starting on bind. So Chokers will start opposite of they did last game, and they're going to try and see if they can hold some angles, hold some corners, and hold some sights, and be able to get a good start going for them here. We'll see what the lineup's going to look like for the Chokers. It's going to be pretty much the same. You're just going to have the change of Tobias going from Reyna to Viper. So you're going to see some of those sweet lineups coming from Tobias, launching walls, launching Venom, and all sorts of stuff going their way. And then you're going to get Brimstone from LHC. Killjoy is going to Odette. Nice Aim's going to play Sage. And of course, Gab is going to stay as Jet. And so pretty even, once again, like we talked about, pretty even, being able to a little bit more defensive even, so to say. But if you've been with us at all this year, you know that Tobias plays Viper a little bit more as a duelist in general, and gets a lot of kills and is able to make a lot of those engagements with Viper, and using the Venom very well and the walls very well. And so we'll see how the Chokers are able to fare here. I think it's going to be crucial being able to come out and hit the ground running in the defensive side of things, especially with the lineup that they have going on, where you're going to see, nope, Chambers new, and I cannot think of who would have been on their lineup last match. Who? Killjoy, yes, thank you. So Chamber comes in for Killjoy for the Hawks.
Turret out. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Like we talked about, chokers are looking to try and see if they can get a quick start or at least just a good start on their hand. It was a little bit, they didn't get off to the fastest of starts for the last map. They ended up starting 3-0, so they've got to be able to try and get. And here's what we talk about. Tobias knows all the little places and nooks and crannies to be able to get things. So we've got something going down with possibly maybe the server switch or something broke something, because we've got the game paused here. For some reason Gavin's able to move with no barriers up, which is weird because it should still be bi-phase by 2 seconds here. So the barriers should still be up, but they are not. And then I believe when it's paused you're not supposed to be able to move. Whereas Gavin, it looked like everybody's moving. All right, interesting. So they're gonna try and unpause it and see what happens, and it looks like we're gonna go for it. All right, cool. Lucky you're able to see on our map. It looks like see, I wouldn't have thought about it, and I would have just ran around and looked where everybody was, like not to cheat, but just to have fun. And so I'm glad that our team and their team was able to keep it in the mind that, hey, when we unpause, we don't want to know exactly where the people are. So looks like early on here, Hawks are able to grab 2 and get Jet down low and get a quick plant right here. Jet is able to come around the corner and get the kill.
Party's
Ooh, a
over.
double sheriff kill right there, so you love to see that. A nice headshot right there on Raze. So Gab is able to get the lead, but it's definitely low here on health, and they've got to be able to push here soon and get this defuse going on.
Last player standing.
A really great shock dart there from Sova is going to be able to keep
One
Chokers
enemy
away
remaining.
from being able to get this diffusion going on. And Odette is going to just jump into the teleporter and be able to save himself.
Remember, your weapon is
So I
only
think the
a
quick
tool.
plant
You
there
can't
kind of just threw the
shoot.
chokers off,
You
as
have to
they
think.
really, once the spike gets planted, the roles kind of switch. I mean, basically, you get that spike planted, and now you play defense, trying to not let the other team be able to get to the spike and defuse it. And so Hawk's able to put the chokers back on their heels and just kind of take advantage of it right there.
You better run, Sova.
Launching smoke.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
So really quick move being done there by the Hawks once again, like we talked about. They just kind of really get, they're extremely aggressive from their attack side of things.
Remember,
It looks like they
Brimstone,
go and get the flawless
if
victory
anything
and get up
happens to
2-0.
you,
So
I'll take
chokers
the
have got to start to figure out how to stop the bleeding right here, be able to right the ship, and you want to do it sooner rather than later. The longer you wait, the bigger the deficit it is, and the harder it is to be able to crawl back. So you got to be able to start to
turret out.
maybe take advantage here of the aggression of the Hawks. Maybe
Placing
try
swarm
and
grenade.
sit back a little bit and let them come to you.
Keep
But
it cool.
we've
That's how
kind of
you
seen
survive.
both strategies from the Hawks, so it's just trying to figure out which one works the best here.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Spike spotted B.
Time to kneel.
And so Chokers are able to come back and be able to grab a round victory here. So like we talked about, figured out a way to stop the bleeding.
Placing sentry. Fight!
Smoke's down. Ollie. Launching smoke.
Here.
Here.
Enemy spotted A.
Ooh. Just a split second late right there. Gav would have been able to get around the corner,
Enemy spotted A.
take advantage of the aggressiveness. It looks like Reyna actually probably flipped the 360 and was able to get back around and get Gav, but Nice Aim gets 2 big kills right there for the Chokers. You're going to hear the spike being planted, so
Spike
Chokers are going to try
planted.
and see which angle they want to take. LHC knows where 2 of them are. I think was able to get Reyna still though, but there's a trade going on, so now you got 2v2.
Toxins going up.
Last player standing.
Get a long
One
distance
enemy
shot.
remaining.
Looks like it's gonna be. Is it Killjoy versus? No, it's Chamber. Sorry, I forgot. So Odette's gonna try and look around and see if the
Imagine
Chamber's
if I
anywhere to be
died
found. He's gotta
right
try
now.
and defuse. It's right here. Chamber comes around the corner. He's able to get to kill. So Odette makes it interesting there at the end, but just basically got put in a spot where it
What
had
will
to
it
go
be
and
this
try and
time?
defuse.
Have any
Time was
patterns
against them right
emerged?
there.
Placing sentry. Need a drop. Thanks.
Thank you.
You want to play? Let's play.
Blocking sight.
Don't get in my way.
Swarm grenade out.
Reloading.
Toxins going up.
Spike planted.
Gunner.
Looks like Hawks have kind of just adopted the strategy of, hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And they've gone to the same spot, what, 5 times in a row now? Plants it right there. And
One enemy remaining.
Trained you.
LHC's able to get through the smoke right there and get the kill. Gets the final elimination right there. Chokers are going to have plenty of time to be able to go and defuse. So they're going to keep this game close. Be able to have some pretty good defensive stands right there. And they're going to go pull it closer at a 2v3.
Make them think.
Can someone get this? Thank you.
Anyone have funds there? Thank you. Turret out.
together. Smoke's down.
Toxins going up.
So now it looks like possibly
Toxin screen down.
go a different direction here, as it looks like they're going to be coming over on site B. Jokers are pretty heavy over on site B, so they sure hope that it's coming on site B.
Spike down B.
Enemy down.
Exchange right there, quick. They're able to get the hunt down too. They know where it is.
One enemy remaining.
I think they finally take him down. No, they actually take down the different ones.
Molly.
It's just the Sova left right here. They've got him kind of pinned down. So LHC's able to get the last elimination right there, and they're able to even things up. So for the first time, other than obviously starting off 0-0 at the beginning of games, Chokers are able to tie things up here with the Hawks. So could be getting a little bit of momentum shifting their way and looking to try and go and grab map 2 so that they can force a map 3 and be able to get to that point, set themselves up with a chance to win this thing.
Steady.
Reloading.
Headshot. Multiple enemies. Reloading. Smoke's down.
So Choker's able to get the first pick again, and like we talked about, we started the other way in the last map. Ooh, good shot right there from Gab to take down their chamber.
One enemy remaining.
Where enough there is you're only going to
Spike
have
down
one left
A.
here for the Hawks. But as I was saying, you started the other way. Hawks started on the defensive side of things, so it could be a little bit stronger of a defensive team. So for the Chokers, you want to try and see if you can grab a lead here and make that lead as big as you can before going into their attack phase.
Thirty seconds left.
Gets enough shots, and LHC is able to get the round victory right there. So Chokers will, we talked about it, they
Time to
had the
stop
first
back
tie
up.
right there, so now they're going to actually extend over and get their first lead of the game. See, I told you, I was telling Zero before, I think that we're going to get, maybe we'll get a little bit of the, if any
Right
of you are
here.
basketball fans out there, the Michael Jordan flu game. LHC is not feeling well at all right now. In fact, I'm just thoroughly impressed that he's even sitting at his computer because he's not feeling great, and now he's gone off and decided that he's going to go and start the match 13-3. So might be getting a little bit of a LHC flu game here, maybe.
One down.
Ooh, nice pick once again from Gab. I think it's just really beneficial to the Chokers, able to, like I talked about,
Reloading.
also really aggressive, so just kind of gets another big pick right there, but you get trade-offs both ways for the Chokers. Oh, and not quite able to finish off with his ult right there, which would have been huge for the Chokers, so you got a 2v2 going on.
Spike planted.
Hawks go back to their early ways and get that plant, most like in the same spot right there on the other side of that little
Last player
structure.
standing.
They're able to pick off Odette, so it's going to be Tobias not able to flick quick enough, and so Hawks are going to come back and even things up heading into round 9.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Turret out. Quick peeks now. Multiple enemies
For you.
Launching smoke.
Go touch one.
Spike planted.
Bot coming back.
Yikes.
Last player standing.
Tobias just not quite quick enough, so Killjoy's gonna know where one is. Actually, it looks like it was chambered, so
Imagine if I died
teleported out of
right
there.
now.
Goes for a little bit of a
So
fake
funny.
defuse to try to get something to pop out, and would have not quite able to do so. So Hawks will regain the lead right there
They look like
with
us, but are
3
they
rounds
us?
left before the
So many
switch.
questions.
Preferably Choker's able to grab the next 3 and go into the switch with a 2-game lead.
Placing sentry. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Smoke's down. Out of here.
So the Hawks actually trade, but big play there from Sage using their ult, and is actually going to revive Jet to get them back up an agent, and then you get another trade right there. So the Chokers are still up 1 right here with a heavy A push from the Hawks. LC tries to see if he can maybe get a pick through the smoke, not able to do so, and decides to go ahead and back off a little bit. Tobias is trying to see if he can maybe sneak around and get a flank, but gets alerted there by the chamber ability, and so decides to kind of go back around and maybe take things a different route. Oh, just perfectly timed right there by Raze.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Spike has been planted once again. Chokers are tapping, trying to get around the corner.
Last player standing.
Oh, just not quick enough there on the other one. And so that is in the same situation again. Seems like we just keep getting her to this spot. He's gonna get a little bit of a shock dart to her, so loses a little bit of health. Gotta go 2v1. Might have the element of surprise. Not able to do so. Not able to get Sova, and so Hawks are gonna go up 4-6.
Shoot the bad guys. How's that for a plan?
Placing sentry.
Right here.
Isolate them and kill them. Enemy spotted A.
Reloading.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Last round in the half.
So Hawks are starting to gain a little bit of momentum. So Chokers want to really cut that off. That has been formed right here. You're not going to be able to go into the switch even tied or with a lead. So you want to try and have the smallest amount of deficit, which could be 2 rounds if you're able to go and grab this round victory right here from the Hawks. Especially as we talked about, the Hawks really kind of asserted their dominance on their defensive side of things. So give yourself the best bet going into the
Placing
switch.
alarm bot.
Launching smoke.
Don't get in my way.
Fire in the hole!
We're going to get a quick plant here again from the Hawks. As you
Spike
heard it already being
planted.
going down there. It's going to get
Welcome
planted right
to
here.
my world.
They're able to pull down LHC, so you're going to have just nice aim and Odette trying to push it
Last
to
player
5 right
standing.
here and get the defuse. And you're going to get a flawless victory. So Chokers are going to go into the switch, being down 4.
Switching
Ruin
sides.
their day.
Hawks are looking at 5 to try and go and win this map and the match, so Chokers have got to be able to string rounds together here.
This is where we win.
Reloading. Gun here.
So Nice Aim gets the first pick, which is actually really valuable in this first round, as Gab is able to grab another one, as there's not a whole lot of shield that's bought. A lot of times you don't see shield get bought. Sometimes they get the little bit better in the secondary. Another one right there from Nice Aim, so really big. The Truckers are able to get up 4-2. They're going to get the spike planted basically in the same spot that the Hawks continue to do. And you've got a wall up, so Chokers have just now rotated themselves into the defensive side of things, just trying to protect this spike.
Last player standing.
Oh my goodness. And the Hawks just come through with authority right there, as LHG's got to come around the corner and try and see if he can get this diffusion to stop. He's not able to do so, as they get, I think actually the kill came first right there. And so Hawks are able
Drink
to take
some
the
water,
first round.
reload your mags, and let's get back out there. Right here.
But Chokers were really in a great spot after they got that spike planted, the wall up. I think really if you just get that first pick right after the wall goes up, that's a whole completely different story right there for the round. So a lot of good stuff coming from the Chokers that they can build upon and possibly even use against the Hawks, as they're going to push, I think, the same route and try and see if they can get that down. Just like they said, they just got to win that gunfight right after they get the spike planted, and if they do so, then that
Enemy spotted
plan,
A.
it works to perfection.
Reloading.
Alarm bot out.
It is something to note that it looks like LHC and Tobias took damage there. Sage had to go through and use
Spike
the heal
down
quickly,
B.
as you get 3 right in
Last
a row.
player standing.
Mowed down by the Chokers, and the looks like Raze from the other team is able to pick up the scraps right there and get the victory. So Hawks have now put themselves within 3 maps here of victory, or sorry, rounds here of victory. And so Chokers not only have to stop the bleeding right here and get a win, but they really have to string together quite a few rounds to be able to get things going in their direction.
See ya.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted B.
On the money.
Nice pick there from LHG. Knew that chamber was around the corner there. Sets the Chokers up in a really good spot to be able to make a good push here on one of the sites.
Reloading.
And it looks like they're going to rotate and push B. Chokers being really cognizant and checking all the different angles that they could possibly be sitting at.
Be faster.
Gonna get a headshot
Blocking
there
sight.
from Gab.
One enemy
Hawks are down
remaining.
to 2, down to 1. Gab was trying to get a little bit fancy right there going through the smoke.
Smoke's down.
Just barely got caught while going through, and you're gonna get a plant
Turret
going
out.
on right here.
Planted.
Chokers are gonna be in a really good spot right here, 4v1, and they're gonna just take it right off the bat. LHC's able to get the headshot on Raze, so
Weapon here.
now you get a little bit of confidence coming back your way, and it can go
Pay
a long ways
attention.
here for the
Might
Chokers.
learn something.
They did step 1 where it was coming and getting the next round. Now, you would love to see at least 3 or 4 strung together and try and draw within 1 or 2 rounds here of the Hawks to make this really competitive and really interesting.
Placing alarm bot.
Thanks. Need a drop.
Thanks. Rest.
Another first pick there for the Chokers. Historically, it's been a good sign for them when they're able to grab that first one, so nice aim is able to pull that down for them. And it looks like Gab gets one on the other side too, so pushing to see what they can get going on.
Launching smoke.
Barrier here.
Turret out.
Plant the spike.
Placing swarm grenade.
It looks like Chokers are going to get the spike planted once
Healing.
again. Have themselves in a good situation here. They got all 5 ready to roll. And just got to kind of get around and hold some different angles here and make sure that they don't let the Hawks sneak in behind them and be able to get a couple of kills and get a defuse going on.
Placing alarm bot.
So it looks like the Hawks are going to play it safe and save right here. So Chokers are going to go into the next round
Bomb grenade
with
out.
4 of them coming over with their
Let them try to
equipment and guns, and Hawks maybe play the long game there and try and see if they can get 3 over. So we'll see if either one of the ults come into play here from Gab or from Reyna from the Hawks. But Chokers have really started to gain some momentum. They've now grabbed 2 in a row, I believe. Really kind of dominated that last round, so they've got to
Right
just
here.
continue to ride that wave right now.
Don't overthink it. That's my job.
Here.
I have the spike.
So you can at least hear the bomb buddy, so you know that Raze is over there on site B with them.
Here.
And it looks like now they're going to rotate, and site B is going to be where they're going to push. Get a couple of smokes down by Brimstone. Some long shots going on.
Here. Enemy
Nice aim's able to get the kill
Enemy
through the
spotted.
wall
B.
basically there on
Right between the eyes.
their chamber. Reyna goes down for the Hawks also. Chokers are possibly looking to do a complete rotate here. Yes, they're going to. They're going to go over to site A. See if they can catch the
30
Hawks
seconds
off
left.
guard, be able to get the plant down and let this thing defuse, or not.
spike planted.
So plant goes down. Chokers now swap onto the defensive side of things, and they just got to be able to make sure the timer is able to go off here for the spike.
Enemy spotted. A.
We've got
One
heaven
enemy
that they gotta be
remaining.
able to deal with. LHC is able to pick one off concurrently at the same time as Tobias, and so Hawks are down to just 1. I would not be surprised. I think it's just the Viper that's in heaven. probably going to try and just save right here and get to the next round, as they do have the round lead. And yeah, so Viper's going to save, Chokers are going to get out of the way, and we're going to head into round 18 with a 7-10 deficit going on. Chokers have now drawn within 3, which I think at one point in time they were down 6. So being able to rattle 3 off in a row is a big thing here for confidence and being able to try and see if they can get back into this match.
Thank you.
Let's go.
And you saw there on the scoreboard, like we talked about, I think I was right. LHC just absolutely popping off right now, 23 and 10, leading the lobby. So a lot of great things, and that's really been the difference maker here for the Chokers on map 2.
Wall raised.
Smoke's down.
Alarm bot out.
Placing swarm grenade.
Reloading.
Light planted.
Placing swarm grenade.
Launching smoke.
Got a big play here from the Chokers as Tobias has popped there also. Oh, and gets a kill. There's 2 kills that go down right there.
One enemy
3,
remaining.
just 1 left. Just raised the rest of the round. And you get a flawless victory for the Chokers. So really starting to string things together. Look really strong on the defensive side of things here on Bind.
I know what must be
Oh,
done.
sorry, on the attack side of things here on Bind, and really starting to make things interesting here for the Chokers and the Hawks.
Right here. Right here. Right here. Safety's off.
Placing alarm bot.
Smoke's down.
Blocking sight.
Turret out. Spike down.
Toxin screen down.
So although Gab was picked off, it looks like Chokers are able to get the fight here.
Down you go.
They get a couple. They get some big picks there from LHC through the smoke, able to not only put themselves in a good spot, but put them up an agent right here, looking to try and see if he can get his 3rd pick.
One
There's
enemy
those
remaining.
gets raised also. LHC pop off my guy. I love to
Launching
see
smoke.
this. So now they put themselves. Now they do have a Reyna that's an ult, so it does make it a little bit more tricky than just a normal 3-on-1. As the Reyna is able to pick off LHC, so now you're gonna get a 2v1.
Last player standing.
1v1, so now it's going to be Viper trying to see if he can hold off. And
Poison's
we're able
off.
to just play time enough and be able
Not
to
enough fuel.
outlast that Reyna right there. So
got
unfortunate
your
for the
back.
Hawks, but definitely fortunate
down
for the
on the
Chokers
front.
as they pull within 1 round right here. A huge comeback being mounted right now by the Chokers.
Can someone get it? Thank you. Reloading.
Placing alarm bot.
Right here.
Isolate and exterminate.
Reloading.
Poison orb emitting.
Enemy spotted. A.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Taken down.
So LHC gets the
Spike
first
drop.
pick there for the
I have the
Chokers.
spike.
Smoke's
Gab gets
down.
another one, so they're in a great spot again
Blocking sight.
here here on the round. Gets another pick.
Placing sentry.
Not able to grab the 4th one right there. but still up 2 agents.
One enemy
spot.
remaining.
Nice aim comes around the corner. You just got 1 left here for the Hawks. Choker's looking real good to tie things up right here. You're going to get the last kill, so Chokers are able to tie things up 10-10.
Who am I kidding? My knees are gonna kill after this.
Alarm bot out.
You want to play? Let's play.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down, B.
At ease, soldier.
Placing sentry.
Molly.
So trades all over the place. They're both
Reloading.
evened up at 2 agencies. So you're going to have LHC and Odette trying to hold off the
Launching
Hawks.
smoke.
You do have an ult coming from Chamber, so he's going to have... He's gonna have
One
Op in
enemy
his
remaining.
hand. Able to
Last
take him
player
down.
standing.
So it's gonna be 1v1. Odette's gonna have just Chamber left to deal with right here.
Ah, turret down.
And so Odette is got the big clutch kill right there, able to go up 11-10. So they come storming back to not only tie things up, but to grab a lead right there. A huge clutch kill from Odette.
Thank you.
Reloading.
Alarm bot out.
We go.
Welcome to my world.
Still got it. Launching smoke. Stim beacon here.
Wall raised. Turret out.
Light plant.
Placing swarm.
Fire in the hole.
Enemy.
You fought well.
Chokers
down.
get even up again, 2-2. They've got the spike planted. They've just got to be able to hold out once again right here.
One
Spot
enemy
where we get
remaining.
a great lineup there from Tobias, like we talked about. My
Last
goodness.
player standing.
You're going to get Viper v Viper here. Tobias is going to try and get another lineup going.
Poison's off.
And gets the kill right there. So they put themselves 1 game away, 1 round away here to be able to force a map 3.
Match point.
You've earned this win. Let's make it
Someone
official.
get this? Thank you.
Right here.
Reloading.
One dead.
Chokers once again get evened up at 3v3 here late in the round. trying to push it, see if they can get it. Not able to do so, but they get a
Spike down
trade, so
A.
it's now 2v2.
I got the spike.
The Chokers are going to be set up with Gab and Tobias right here, try and see if they can cap off this map.
Toxin screen down. Toxins going up.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
kill.
Spike planted.
No charges left.
So Chokers get the
Poison orb
spike
emitting.
planted down. They're up 2-1, but really Gab is one tap right here, so you've got to be able to, if you're Tobias, you really got to be able to step up here and see if you can find Raze.
Poison's off.
Worst case scenario, you at least want Gab to get a good couple shots on Raze so that they're not full health going after a 1v1. Oh, and they're able to do it. So the Chokers come back and grab map 2 to go on and force a map 3. Huge play there from them to be able to keep their playoff hopes alive. And LHC absolutely puts the team on his back, has a game like no other. 34, 14, and 10. My goodness, LHC, just have yourself a freaking day. I love to see it. Yeah, I don't know. So how exciting here for the Chokers. You love to see it. They're able to come back from, like we talked about, a first map there on Ascent that was kind of dominated by the Hawks, and able to come back around, get down to a deficit, I think down 4-10, turn things completely around and be able to rattle off, geez, so 9 rounds in a row to be able to come back and get the victory on map 2 and force a third map coming your way right here. So a lot of great Valorant action happening right here in front of you, and you love to see it for the Chokers. Just absolutely getting down nitty gritty and fighting for their lives right here to stay into the playoffs. All right, so here you have it right in front of you. We're heading into Split. It's going to be game 3 or map 3. This is going to be for all the marbles, so whoever's able to win this map is going to be your match winner of the day. Choker's able to win. It keeps their playoff hopes alive here for them. And you're going to see... Oh! So LHG is going to switch over to KO, it looks like. Haven't locked in yet. You're going to get Gab going into Raze. Killjoy is still staying with Odette. Tobias is going to go Omen. That is actually an agent that I don't think I've seen him play all year, so we'll see how that works out for him. And then it's shaping up to look like Nice Aim's going to stay on Sage, and you're possibly going to get a KO play here from LHC.
Choose your agent.
I will soothe this turmoil with fire if I must. No charges left.
Placing sentry.
Shadows traveling. The move. Flash. Shadows traveling.
So Chokers go and get the first pick there, but it doesn't turn out to be like it normally was, as the Hawks turn right back around and grab 3 of the Chokers, so they put themselves in a little bit of a situation here to be able to try and go and grab.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Bragging rights if you get first pick.
Turret out.
As one.
More range.
Enemy suppressed. Grenade out.
Last player standing.
Ooh, and so Gab's able to get one, but comes around the corner and gets killed by the chamber, so Hawks jump up to an early 2-0 lead here.
Their backs will be towards at least one of us.
Turret out. Here.
Suppressing.
Spike planted.
And so Chokers are going to try and see if they can come closer. They're going to get the KO, going to get the chamber. There was a swap at one point in time, though, as they're able to pull down LHC
Placing
right
swarm
there.
grenade. Swarm grenade out.
One enemy
Getting
remaining.
even up, but Gab just holds down the trigger right there and is able to grab the collateral kill.
Stealing sight.
Tobias is going to know where this last one is. They're going to get the kill and have plenty of time to defuse right here, so Chokers are going to be able to get back close.
Shame. I love explosions.
We are not done.
Can someone get this? Can someone get this?
Placing sentry. Be safe. Alarm bot out.
Last player
Hawks are able to
standing.
take out majority of the Chokers early again. And going to get the last kill there on LHC, so they go up 3-1 here. On the attack side of things, so Chokers are trying to see if they can get some round victories strung together right here and be able to start to crawl back into this one.
Turret out. Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
Wall raised.
Shutting them down. Cover going out. Can't use that. Blinding. Knife deployed. Enemy flashbang.
Reyna killed. Here comes the
30 seconds left.
Cover going out.
You want to play? Let's play.
So Choker's down.
Spike
One
planted.
agent right here. Spike has been planted by the Hawks. And so they've got to try and figure out. Odette and Tobias have got to kind of try and figure out where they're going to go. They know that you've got all three on site here. Oof. Just barely stepped out of the way of the
Last player standing.
operator, and so it's going to be down just to Tobias.
Shadows.
Might try and play a little bit of close game here as he knows that off is in the hand. Oh, if he would have got that pick right there, it could have been huge there for the Choker. Not able to do so. So the Hawks are going to go up 4-1.
My burden never ends. There. There. Brace for impact. There. There.
Barrier created.
Suppressing. Cover going out.
Healed by
Reloading.
grenade.
Reloading. Shadows traveling.
So Chokers get the first pick they can here. Then
Enemy
see if they
spotted
can be
B.
able to capitalize on it. And
Flashbang.
the second also.
Reloading. Spike down B.
Spike is B.
One enemy remaining.
Grab another one here, so it's just down to the Viper for the Hawks. And Choker going around, see if they can get this last elimination and pull within 2 rounds.
Knife deployed. Spike's here. Reloading.
Placing
Cover
sentry.
going out.
30 seconds left.
Alarm bot out.
Ten seconds left. Thrifty.
They're able to get that round and
Need
pull within
nothing to
2.
win.
Even with numbers, anything can still happen.
They're
Remember
really
that.
starting to exchange blows here with the Hawks, looking to see if they can get back into this map right here and be able to go and grab the match victory.
Reloading. Placing alarm bot. Turret out.
I'll keep them quiet. You are powerless.
Fire in the hole. Turrets destroyed.
Spike planted.
Shadows traveling.
Stand down.
No one walks away.
Opponent killed.
One enemy remaining.
Defuse the spike.
The shadows are down. Thank you. Reloading.
Healing.
I don't know. You don't.
Surrounded by minha família. We won't lose.
Can I get a thanks? Turret out.
Knife deployed. Shadows. Enemy suppressed.
For you.
Grenade out.
Enemies be. Precision kill.
Spike planted.
One down.
Go get him.
Last player standing.
Look at me. I know that I am by your side.
Placing sentry. Can I get this? Thanks.
Enemy spotted A.
Chokers dropped the last round here, so they keep it within, still within 2, so it's still very doable. A huge kill
Spike
there from
down
Odette,
A.
able to get the KO as they came around the corner
Placing
through the
swarm
rain of
grenade.
blind.
Swarm grenade out.
Guess they just didn't get the blind good enough there. Big kill there from Odette. Looks like the Reyna should run right into
Here.
two right there of Chokers, so they're able to get Reyna down 2.
Flashbang.
Chokers are going to be up 4-3 right here. Hawks even things up and get to 3-3.
Seconds left. Spike planted.
And they do get the spike planted, so they're going to turn things here on the Joker. They're gonna pick one off.
One
They're gonna
enemy
even things back
remaining.
up again. You're going to have one left.
Welcome to my
Viper's
world.
going to go into ult.
Shutting them down.
So KO's going to get
Enemy suppressed.
in there and suppress Viper. They're going to try and take some wild blind shots to see if they
Last
can get the
player
Viper out of there.
standing.
They at least know where Viper is. Are going to get the last kill, and there's going to be time on the board for the defuse, so the Chokers are going to pull within 1 here.
Shadows travel. Activating kill mode. That's a joke. Kill mode is default.
Turret out.
Thank you.
Fight!
Barrier created.
Knife deployed. They're suppressed. Stealing sight.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Suppress it. No charges. Nice knowing you.
Clutch.
I bet you never seen a can opener do that.
You're up. Stay safe. We're going back in.
Can I get a drawbacks? Keep your heads on.
You want to play? Let's play.
Stealing sight.
Here.
You are powerless. Enemy spotted mid.
Spike down mid.
Can't use that.
Grenade! Reloading. Enemy removed.
Here comes the party!
Reloading.
30 seconds left.
Many enemies B.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Deal with my
One enemy remaining. Last round before the switch.
We cannot keep our goods after this. Spend all.
There. Turret out.
There.
Let's make them dance.
Suppressing. Enemy suppressed.
Reloading.
No charges. Blinding.
Spike planted.
Initiated.
Last player standing.
Placing swamp. Goodbye.
Switching sides.
They know pain. They can't begin to comprehend it. There. 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 Here. There.
Here.
There.
Placing sentry.
There.
Weapon here.
Let's get this done.
Weapon here.
There. Cover knocked out. They're suppressed. There.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Grenade!
Reloading. Cover going out. Reloading.
Healing you.
Reloading. Flash.
Light planted.
Wall raised.
Last player standing.
You say something? Sorry, ear's still ringing.
Here. Here.
Forward.
Suppressing. Shadows traveling.
Here.
Cover going out.
Placing alarm bot. Hey.
Spike down A.
Spike carrier.
Last player standing.
Flash.
They're going to scatter from my stuff. Super easy to pick off.
Placing sentry. Here.
There. There.
Let's make some chaos.
There. Shadows traveling.
Ground.
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
Rest. We turn to dust.
One enemy remaining.
Don't die. If you need help figuring out how, just ask. Turret out.
Whatever it takes.
Grenade!
Kill. Knife deployed.
Deal with my copy.
Grenade.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
Light planted. Cover going Flashbang. Sight. Flash. Shutting them down. They're suppressed.
Last player standing.
Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please. Turret out.
Here.
There. Kill all there.
You want to play? Let's play.
Reloading.
For you.
Suppressing. Blinding. Enemy suppressed.
Your duty is not over.
So what I missed?
Shadows traveling.
Grenade!
Flash.
Spike area.
Bomb buddy out.
Spike down mid.
I have the spike.
Thirty seconds left.
Satchel out. Here comes the party!
Placing swarm grenade.
Spike planted. Fire in the hole!
Last player standing.
Wait until I blind them to strike. There. Snuff them out. Shutting them down. Shadows traveling.
Barrier created.
Cover going out. Dark grenade. Reloading.
Placing sentry.
Reloading. There.
Flashbang.
Enemy spotted B. Enemy spotted B.
Reloading.
Last player standing. Match point.
Their tech is only as good as their skill. And there, we have some beats.
Welcome to my world.
Enemy suppressed. Stealing sight. Cover going out.
Last player standing. Spike down A. Defenders win.
All right, so, that was exciting, as you could tell. Sorry, I went a little AFK there on you as we were trying to get figured out what we were doing here, because literally right now our Overwatch team is getting ready for their first round playoff game. It was supposed to start at 6, but Tobias is on our Overwatch and our Valorant team, and so we are getting Tobias over to Overwatch as quickly as possible so they can get their game going. We're actually getting our game switched over so that we can get the stream going for it so that we can watch that and all sorts of great stuff. So we're excited and looking to Zero has no friends. Oh no, that's not good. And so we're trying to get over into the lobby as quick as possible and see if we can get rolling with that. But it was a little bit stressful. The Valorant team, a good stress, gave it a really good stress as they were able to make that a very close game. As we talked about in map 1, it didn't look like they had much of a fight against the Hawks, as the Hawks took the first map pretty handily, but then they were able to come back, have a huge comeback against them on map 2. And then also able to come and exchange a lot of blows, and then just at the end the Hawks were just barely able to outlast them. So a really good showing from our Valorant team. A fantastic season they've had so far. We'll see if it was good enough to get into the playoffs. They're not going to be top 2 and get an automatic bid into it, but they could get one of the extra bids that go into it. And it looks like we actually got loaded. Wow, we got over quick. That is crazy. So looks like Tobias got over into the Overwatch lobby. We're over into the Overwatch lobby as I'm looking at my screen. None of you guys can see it at home because you're looking at my face, and so I always forget that. But all right, I'm gonna take a deep breath because now we don't have to stress anymore. We made it over. And so, like I said, this is round 1 of the NECC playoffs. So we come in, I believe we come in as the 5 seed. Redbird White is going to be the 4 seed. And it's actually going to be a rematch of last Friday's match that we had. And so we are going to go through the bans. It looks like they're doing their map bans and everything right now. And then we're going to be going back. We actually ended up losing to the Redbirds on Friday. So we will see if we can right the ship, turn it around, and get going the right way. And it's a single elimination tournament. There was 8 of us that went in, so it's 3 games into the championship. Today would be the quarterfinal. Whoever wins today's match will go on to play in the semifinals. Whoever wins that match would then go on to the championship and play in the championship with a chance to win a berth to get an automatic bid into the national tournament that happens at the end of the year. So a lot of really good stuff going on. The Overwatch team feels confident. They've been putting a lot of practice and a lot of work in. I'm hoping that Tobias playing Valorant is warm up enough for him, as he wasn't able to warm up in Overwatch before. But I'm sure that his trigger finger is going to be nice and warm and ready to go here for Overwatch. I expect and hope to see some great shots, some great Hanzo arrows flying from Tobias. But we've got a lot of really great stuff in this lineup that I'm excited to see going on. As you've seen before, I'll run it down like you know and love as you have been with us. I know that it's a little bit confusing too, because we're gonna overlap both of our streams, but we just don't have enough time to shut it down and start a new one back up. And quite frankly, it's a lot of work to do that, so we don't want to. We're kind of lazy right now, as especially we actually Zero and I, Zero's running the spectator cam. So if you don't like the spectator cam, that's the person that you yell at. But we had to run in between and grab some snacks and some cookies and stuff, because it's gonna be it's a long night for us, as we just went straight from Valorant to this. It's stressful. I'm over here stress eating. I think I've already had 2 or 3 cookies already. But anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. It looks like they're getting ready to head into it, and we'll look at the rosters and lineups coming your way. I'm pretty excited for this. This is going to be a good thing. Chokers were able to make it into the playoffs last season for Overwatch also, and had a first round exit, so they're looking to try and change things here and be able to get a first round victory and head into the semifinals. And then also in the NECC, you'll see coming on Tuesday will be our Rocket League team heading into playoffs and getting ready for that. And I believe also on Tuesday you're going to have in the NJCAAE Madden heading into playoffs. So a lot of playoff stuff's happening for the Chokers, and tonight right now is the first match of the playoffs. So we will be getting a lot of fun coming your way and seeing if we can get ready and set to go. And so it looks like I think both teams are readying up. It looks like we have chosen Lijiang Tower for our first map. Things are a little bit different for the playoffs, but it's still going to be Control. I'm going to check and make sure that I'm giving you the completely correct information, as it looks like we're heading into the first game. Let's see. So we're going to go Control, Hybrid, Payload, Hybrid, and then Control for map 5. If we go to map 6, I believe it's another Control one. Before and during the season, they actually had each one chosen specifically for us, the map layout that was going to go. This one, they're actually going back to the pool of map for each one. There's a ban that happens, and then the home team gets to choose the map they go to next. Whoever wins this one will get a ban 1 map. Losing team will get to choose on the next one.
No dying on my watch. Look at this team. We're gonna do great.
So dramatic.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Seize the
1.
objective.
Round 1.
Teleporter online. We move.
Oh, you got. Never mind. We changed the Junkrat there for him. A little bit of a last-second change there for him. Oh, gotcha. So yeah, pretty typical lineup. Other than we don't see a ton of Junkrat coming Orblins way. Usually you see a Reaper coming on right here, but obviously they've got some kind of game plan that they're going to try and go and see if they can use Junkrat to their advantage here. I think you've got Tobias as Sombra. So the Redbirds look like they commit just a little bit too much up there on that upper spot, and the Chokers kind of sneak in behind them. You're going to get a double kill there by the Junkrat wheel. And the Chokers look like are going to be able to capture the point right here and try and hold off, but it looks like quite a few eliminations happen. I think Chokers are still in control here of the point though. So now they've evened things up, both at 21%. Redbirds are trying to come back and recapture this point. Looks like it's a pretty even match so far throughout. You're going to get the ultimate there from the Redbirds, which is going to clear the Chokers out of there and be able to get the point capture back in there, so they're going to start accruing back to their capture now. So looks like, at least from the early ongoings here of this match, that it's going to be a very back and forth battle the whole time. So Chokers have just really got to figure out a way how to continue to keep pressure here on the Redbirds and see if they're able to grab themselves this first point. Oh, and Orblin walks right around the corner into a Junkrat wheel as a Junkrat. That's super unfortunate, especially since he was only a percentage away from getting his ult and was probably going to pull it onto the Redbirds. So it is something to note there that Orblin does have his wheel, and the Redbirds have typically kind of grouped up together when they start to get on this little defensive side, so you could see possibly a fracture coming their way. You could possibly kind of see the wheel coming around the corner and let it fly in there, but we'll see what route the Chokers decide to take here. They're all together up there. I'm assuming that we're going to find cover right here, pull the wheel, and let it fly on up there. And so he gets around and gets a 3K with the wheel, so a big time kill right there. And I was wrong, actually, it's not Sombra. It looks like it's going to be Symmetra there for Tobias. I should have known that from the teleporter that I saw. The Chokers still pushing, but still have not recaptured this point quite yet. Oh, yes, they have. The point has been recaptured there for the Chokers, so they've got to try and start accruing. So Chokers are inching closer here to get to that 99%. And then, as you know, by hanging out with us on Overwatch, once they get to the 99, it'll still go to overtime as long as there is a Redbird touching. As you see right there, touching the spot, so you've got to be able to clear everybody out of the point. But you do typically, a lot of times, see a team continue to push and sometimes take over the point right here, so Chokers have got to be really careful with that, as the Redbirds are really close at 84%, so it won't take long for them to get to 99. Really close back and forth battle. You got to see a couple of plays made here from Symmetra. Oh, just about able to get Reinhardt from the other squad, but not able to do so. A big time ult from the other team. Symmetra is able to get that wall up to shield them. But I think that the Chokers were able to gain enough time to be able to possibly get the rest of their team back. Oh, a big time play from the Redbirds to be able to sniff out that wheel coming around the corner. And they recapture point right there, so Chokers have to regroup quickly and be able to push back on. At least make sure that they're touching when that 99 hits the... So they're going to get onto point, so they're going to contest. So basically, whoever's able to win this battle right here, this contested battle, is probably going to be able to come down and get that last percentage. So Chokers are going to push hard here. You got Orblin doing damage, but boy, he was close to being killed. Big kill there from Symmetra, a big 2K. Looking for the 3K, big 3K. 4K, 5-player kill streak right there for Symmetra, and an absolutely heart-wrenching wheel comes out from the Junkrat. You're going to get a pin there from Brius. But basically, the Chokers have to try and hold on here to get the rest of their squad back. Are they going to be quick enough to get on point? They sure are going to be able to get there, but I don't know if it's going to be put them in a good situation when they get there. Wow, fantastic. It was looking the way of the Chokers right there. I thought for sure that they had enough there from the 5K from Symmetra, aka Tobias, and then a huge junk rat wheel comes out of nowhere and takes out the Chokers in full force, and they just didn't have enough to be able to get back into it. So luckily for the Chokers, that's just the first point. They can always bounce back right here, and probably will. We've seen the fight in them all the time. Bounce back and grab the second point and force a third point to come out here on the first control map.
You're fully hit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
My teleporter is online.
Both teams have pretty much the same idea right there, as they both TP through the window, come in, and it looks like it's still up in the air, but Orblin's going to go ahead and just jump off and get respawned quickly, so the Redbirds were able to win that first exchange. Chokers are looking to come back around and change the fates.
Teleporter online.
So Redbird's able to hold off another attack there from the Chokers, so they've got to be able to try and figure out how to get through the defenses. It is very tough on this control point when you get the first control of it, because it's so boxed up, as you got that building that you got to get into, so there's a lot of different angles that you're able to hold very easily on the defensive side of things. So once the Chokers can get in there, then they can start to accrue a lot of points, being able to hold easy, but that's the problem, getting in. But is not able to catch anybody with it, and that's going to be extremely unfortunate for the Chokers.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
And so Redbirds are already nearing that 99%. We already saw it once though. Can't be easy to take it back here at this overtime point, and we just watched the Redbirds rattle off 99%, so there's no reason the Chokers can't. They just got to be able to check off the first box and recapture the point here. It's not looking too good for that happening, so Chokers are not able to take the first map here. I think the Redbirds were able to just kind of come out and punch them in the mouth, and they weren't able to really recollect themselves right there. So they're going to have to reconvene in between Control and the hybrid map that is going to be coming up here, and see if they can kind of figure out if this is definitely the play of the game right here, as it took out every Choker right there, as they were literally seconds away from winning that first point. And I think that one just kind of shocked them, and they didn't really recover from it. And so it's going to be up to the Chokers to be able to bounce back right here, as they're going to go into map 2. And so basically what's going to happen, like we talked about, is since the Redbirds won, they're going to look at the map pool for hybrid game mode. They're going to choose one map that they are going to ban, to say, hey, you can't play this map, basically. And then the Chokers are going to have, I believe it's 4, because there's a pool of 5. There'll be 4 maps that they're able to choose from. Once they choose from that, then it'll be, yeah, so it's going to be either Blizzard World, Eichenwald, Hollywood, Kings Row, and Numbani. And so as my resident expert over here in Overwatch, Zero said it's probably going to be Kings Row that they ban because from my understanding, nobody likes Kings Row. Oh, they're going to pick Kings Row. Gotcha. So we'll see what's going to be the first ban here from the Redbirds. And then one thing to note, as Hybrid is also the map 4 game mode, once that map is chosen to be banned, it's banned for the rest of the game. So if we get to map 4, they cannot choose that map again. And I'm pretty sure my understanding is also whichever map we choose to play here in map 2 will also be done. You can only use it once and you can only ban it once. So it'll actually only be a pool of 3 to choose from once we get to map 4. And we will get to map 4 because I have complete confidence in the chokers. And since we dropped the first map, we got to get to map 4. So, but I think I see. Is that Eichenwald I see? So we are going to head to Eichenwald. Which one did they ban? They banned Numbani, and we're going to go to Eichenwald. And we also get to choose if we would like to start on attack or defense. We'll see what they choose. I know that the chokers are notorious for going defense first, and they're going to stick to it. So basically, the idea here is see if you can hold off the other team. Obviously, ideally, you do not let the Redbirds capture the first point and even unlock the payload to start to move, and then it makes it really easy on yourself. But really, in the grand scheme of things, it is to make them use at least as much time if they can go to completion, or just don't let their payload get all the way through, and then all you have to worry about instead of time or anything like that is just, hey, once we get our payload all the way through, we won the round. So we will see how the chokers are able to respond there to the first map going the Redbirds' way.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
Keep the skies clear for me.
Pardon me.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Whoa there.
It reminds me of home.
You done?
Scareface on.
Watch and learn.
Chokers have their defenses prepared and ready for the Redbird attack, and so as I mentioned, the first step of this hybrid game mode is they have to come up and capture that first objective that you're going to see the chokers defending right here. Once they capture that objective, then they are able to unlock their payload that comes out, and they've got to be able to push that down the route and get to completion. So ultimate goal for the chokers here is just don't let them get the objective. Easy enough, right? Just like I hear all of our Valorant players always talk about, all you got to do is click on their head faster than you click on your head. Just the simple concept of life. Early barrage comes out here from Orblin. It's just going to withstand some of the firing coming back. Is only able to actually get one from the barrage, but the biggest thing that those do is deal a lot of damage all over the place. So all of those players are going to be low in health right there. You're going to get a high note coming here. You get at least one, just one with it. So Tobias is able to capture one right there. As the good part about it is the more and more that they go and hold them off from capturing the point, the more time that they waste. So that is ultimately the end goal, is just making them waste all their time. As long as he doesn't get picked off, it's a really good strategy by Orblin here too, firing some, just pre-firing and seeing if he can catch a couple of those agents going right. Redbirds are able to mount a pretty good attack right there. They're going to push through and get to the capture point, and they're going to go ahead and get the point capture right there, and so their payload is unlocked.
Stop the payload.
Chokers were at least able to hold off a couple of attacks and make them use more time, so it's the same goal here. Redbird's mounting a pretty good attack again right here. They're really being aggressive and pushing forward of the payload. You can see it's back there, but they really pushed up trying to see if they can get the chokers out of the way and just let one person stay back there with the payload. So chokers have really got to make them pay for that. It looks like Orban's going to try and drop it from behind. A little bit further away than I think he would like to be, and the chokers just kind of let the payload get to that first checkpoint right there. So Redbirds have got 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to be able to push it the rest of the way. I will say that it is a pretty tough choke point right around this corner right here to be able to get around, as the defense can really start to get their bearings right here and be able to hold basically right here where you're looking at Orban. But the Redbirds keep up the onslaught that they've been having. The chokers have not had an answer for it so far. Just able to get that last May. They're going to get the D.Va out of there and see if they can get the out of mech D.Va. Oh, just barely got back into mech in enough time, but not going to last very much longer. And so chokers were able to at least stop that onslaught right there, and now they've just got to be able to hold. At this point in time, your thought process probably is just see how much time we can make them waste. Comes up and sees if he can stop some of the onslaught coming from the Redbirds, and like we talked about, there's a couple of different pinch points, and this is definitely one of them. If they play their cards right, they can see if they can keep them outside those doors. The Redbirds do get in right here, but they push them right back in, and they're going to get a death blossom coming from Orban. Gets only one kill from it though, as there's a couple of ults that come on the Redbird side of things. Big time kills there from Reinhardt though. Rias is just popping off right there. You like to see it. You get the revive there from Crunchy. So they bend right there. They bend quite a bit and let them in, but they do not break in the defenses. And so all while this is happening, slowly but surely, that payload has been pushing back. Oh, did somebody sneak in behind? So Soldier tried to go behind and see if they can be a little sneaky. And even though he didn't push the cart very far, it looks like it might have thrown the chokers off just a little bit on that little hold that they had going on. So the rest of the team has been able to sneak in now. As you're going to get Tobias all by himself, he's going to get eliminated. Not much left here for the chokers. He's got 1:30 left on the clock. Tobias tried to do his best. Oh, you're going to get a big time move here from Reinhardt, trying to save some more time. You're going to get a couple of kills, a couple of revives. Is it going to be enough, though? You're going to get a Bob popped out here from Tobias, which could be a huge help for the Chokers. Going to get the Reinhardt down. D.Va's going to come out of mech, but that is okay as they've got the majority of the Redbirds out of the way. Seeing if maybe they can keep D.Va alive and get her back into mech here pretty soon.
Let's get that out there.
So once again, Chokers bend extremely. The flexibility of the Chokers is incredible because they bend like crazy right there, but do not break once again. And they're able to push back up and get that little bit of a hold point at the gate right there once again. They just have to make sure that they don't get snuck around again once again. You've got to hold. You got 30 seconds that you got to be able to keep them off the payload right here. A lot of freeze going on. Chugging the ICs, lots of free increases. Got 5 seconds on the board. They've got to be able to keep them off point here. Keep them off point. And I think they're able to do so. Yes, they are. So the Redbirds get a extremely deep into the route as they're very close to completion, but for the positive thing for the Chokers is they did not get through the finish line. So all the Chokers have to worry about here, they don't have to worry about, I mean, they do have to worry about time, but they don't have to worry about saving enough time because all they have to do is just finish. As long as they can push their payload all the way through the end, they will win this round and be able to tie it up at 1-1.
No dying on my watch.
All systems operational. Ultimate is charging. Ready for combat.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
And so you see a pretty, if I remember correctly, a pretty similar actually lineup than to what the Redbirds had on their attack. So we'll see how the Chokers are able to make use of it. Actually, it may not be that similar, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
I will shake order from chaos.
Chokers are going to get a teleporter made here. They're going to go up and over the roof. My goodness. I'm going to see. Was Collins the only one that got over? That's alright, it created a little bit of a distraction right there. So. Is it going to pay off for him though, as it looks like there's a couple of quick first eliminations done by the Redbirds there, so Chokers are going to try and see if they do get a kill from Collins, which is a kill on the healer, so that's always important. You always love to see the love between healers and each other. But I don't think that first push is going to pay off there for the Chokers as the Redbirds are able to hold strong. And so Chokers are going to regroup again, see what strategy, what tactic they want to go with, and make another good push here. Get around the side, we'll see if it works for him, but the Mei walls are being used extremely well by the Redbirds to be able to kind of cut the healers off and the rest of the team off from certain players being able to go and pick off them. So Chokers are going to have to figure that out, figure out how to get around that as they've got just under 2.5 minutes here to capture that first point.
All better. For now.
And so you see a switch of DPSs right here as Orglin's going to go back to Reaper. Get a double Mei wall right there. Rose and Reinhardt for the other squad. You get a Reinhardt pick right there. We'll see if Reaper can get another one. They're already up one agent. Oh my goodness, party in the hallway over there. Good couple of kills from the chokers. It looks like they've got the majority of the Redbirds down. They're going to keep pushing. See if they get the second tick right here. They're going to get the second one. Just a couple more Redbirds. That might have actually been it right there. They're going to capture the point, and so now they have gone into payload mode.
Escort the payload.
First checkbox down, and now it's just, hey, how can you get this payload to the finish line? Simple as that.
Nothing's gonna stop. Let's up. Targets in sight.
Orblin picked off right there. Double taking the Reinhardt for the Redbirds. So first push not looking too hot here for the chokers up there, but they are at least able to get the payload continuing to move, as they didn't win the battle up on the bridge, but they were able to get the payload all the way to the bridge. White's going to try and...
I am loving this.
Choker's going to group up and re-plan here once again. See that the Redbirds are on
Payload stuck. Let's get
the
it
payload
rolling.
right now, as they're slowly pushing it back, but not a big deal for the Chokers. It's 2.5 minutes, and you saw on that last push on the point is plenty of time. Oh no, unfortunate there for Rias, and right when he goes to do his fracture, hits it off to the side and actually hits the wall instead of all of the Redbirds. So you're going to try and see if you can get most of them while they're all frozen. So they at least get some of them. But the Redbirds really so strong right there, able to kind of withstand that attack right there. Really unfortunate for the Chokers that Rias just slight step to the right more, but when he hits that hole, completely is going to wipe out the Redbirds right there. So see how they're able to regroup and bounce back from that right here. So now time is starting to go down a little bit on the Chokers. They've got about a minute on the board. Luckily for them, once that time goes up, as long as they are on point to touching the payload, they can continue to push it through in that overtime period. Once they get to the check mark, then they will get some extra time. But like we talked about, that May wall has really been throwing them off, as they've been getting separated from the rest of the group and having to push by themselves and being eliminated. And so the Redbirds have done a fantastic job here of just kind of keeping the Chokers off balance.
Up the tempo. You're fully here.
30 seconds remaining.
Dragons come out there for a Hanzo. Chokers have got to be able to stay on point. You got to have at least one person on point at all times right now. You're in overtime, but it looks like the Redbirds are kind of handling the move right now, getting all the Chokers off, and so it's just going to be the one-by-one thing. So it's going to be really difficult for the Chokers to be able to get through this. They're just buying time, seeing if they can get the full squad back right here. Rias is going to come in and try and see if he can get a little bit of damage done. And the Chokers are not going to be able to stay on point, so they're able to get the round or the map 2 victory here for the Redbirds. So they go up 2-0 and already on map 3 have put the Chokers into elimination right here. They're up against the final game. They've got to be able to win 3 in a row to win this thing. So big play. This is what we're talking about right when they were able to get them back out through that door. Rios has a big play right there, and like we talked about, just a slight step to the right on that last fracture that he used, and I think we're reading a different story right now. And so the game will now move into payload. So basically the only difference between that is that instead of having to capture the point at the beginning to unlock your payload, it's just payload the whole time. So you got to push it through all the way through the route, and we'll see how they're able to do so. The payload maps they're going to be able to choose from is going to be Dorado, Havana, Junkertown, Rialto, Route 66, and then Watchpoint Gibraltar. So once again, the Redbirds won the previous map, so they're going to get the choice to choose to ban one of those. Once they ban one, the Chokers will then choose which map they start on, and I believe they actually get to choose... No, the winning team should be the one that chooses side. So they ban a map, losing team chooses the map, and then we are going to have the Redbirds choose their side. So Junkertown is going to be the first map banned. Chokers will now get to choose where they want to go to. I'm going to throw a dart out into the wind, and I'm going to guess Gibraltar. Zero thinks that we're going to go to Havana, so we've got 2 chances of being right here in the GHC esports room. We'll see if we got it. It's 50-50 chance to be right. But like I said, Chokers are backs up against the wall here early. It's a best of 5, so the first to win 3 maps is going to be your match winner. And Redbirds have come out swinging and have taken the first 2 maps, so Chokers have got to be able to respawn right here, turn around, and see if they can take. Really, you wanna focus on just taking the two in a row, and then you can go and figure it out from there. And it looks like Zero, you were correct. We're gonna be heading on to Havana. That was my second choice. I promise. But so Chokers are going to feel confident going to Havana, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to make this comeback start to happen. As we talked about, you gotta start at the first map, so you have to win this next one to be able to have a chance at all to come back. So we'll see how they are able to respond here from the early shots thrown at them from the Redbirds. And so both teams are readying up, and we're going to head into Havana. I believe Chokers are going to start on defense once again, so they've got to be able to do what they did last time and just make sure that the Redbirds do not get through to completion. But obviously, if you can make them get shorter on the routes, or you can make them not control the point, then it makes it a little bit easier on yourself here.
My business, my rules. You're welcome. Do you need me to attackers incoming? I get the idea. You're welcome. We have an understanding. Executing pre-combat routine. Optimizing strategy. 5,
So just like I talked about, Redbirds basically get a walk right out, right into their payload, and so they can do that. See what they can do with it. Oh, it's a quick kill there on comms. Is not what you want to see, but you do get the revive from Frenchy, but also at the same time you have to use that revive early. So we'll see if the Chokers are able to right the ship here, get going in the right direction. Good eliminations there from the Chokers. I just realized that I said that they should stop them from capturing the point, even though I just explained this isn't accurate. Anyways, they just want to at least make the Redbirds use as much time as possible here, but preferably don't even let them get to the first checkpoint, second checkpoint, so on and so forth. Just make sure that they stay as far back from the finish line as possible. Just going to sneak in behind, get a quick revive right there on comms, and is able to do so with almost all of the Redbirds in her face. So a pretty impressive move there from her. A lot of exchanges happening there between the Redbirds and the Chokers. We'll see. Oh, and they're able to capture Mercy right there and be able to get the kill. So Redbirds look poised to get to this first checkpoint with really a good amount of time left here on the board too. So Chokers are going to reconvene their defenses right here and get ready to basically just absolutely explode on them right when they get to the checkpoint. So like I said, Chokers kind of ready their defenses right when they come through that gate right there, and see if they can just kind of get this chokehold going right here. Orban's going to try and chase down. He's able to finish off Ghostly. And the Chokers, I think, get a team. No, it looks like there's still at least one Redbird left out there. But the good thing is that made them wait long enough that they were able to get that gate close behind them, so they know that there's only just a couple of doors that they can get through here. Really actually not as few as I was thinking. Get a couple of big kills there, but a lot of ults used there from the Redbirds. You got Visor, you got Sigma using his ult. I believe you had a Hanzo ult that came through, so a lot of those were used to try and get that push through. So at least on the Chokers end of things, you see that you've got 3 there ready for him. And I don't think that there should be too many on the side of the Redbirds.
Let me show you how it's done. Let them up.
Crunchy gets a good spot there on top of those to be able to kind of hide away from the enemies, but also be able to get the healing going on. Choker's faring pretty well right now, but they've got to get ready for this next push. You know that's coming. To get a revive by the other team's Mercy on Soldier, you're going to have to withstand these dragons. They're able to do so, but how much damage was done by them too? You've got Sigma all here for Rias, but he's going to get stunned and get pushed off of his high spot right there, which is unfortunate as he had quite a few of the Redbirds right there lined up and ready to just pick up and slam. fast, which is not a help as you get one of the healers down. But not an ultimate ending thing, because now you can lose one of your tanks too, and so the chokers are kind of back up against the wall right here. Possibly going to regroup and get ready outside of the next checkpoint.
That's more like it.
They're going to do so. So at least they've pushed the Redbirds down to about a minute left on each time when they've got to the checkpoint. So you've got 2:26 on the clock here. No more checkpoints. No more time added. So you just really got to dig your heels in the ground and stay firm right here on the defense. Right in front of them, you're going to get dragons coming out, and looks like there's going to be possibly a team wipe. Jokers are going to have to reconvene here. Crunchy just kind of took the high road and said, I'm going to stay alive. You're going to get a revive there. It's fast. That helps to get your other healer back. Hanzo tries to come up and around the corner here on the chokers, but I think they were able to sniff it out here. Orblin's going to come around the side, not able to get enough damage done to get a kill. Get picked off themselves, so the Redbirds are pushed extremely close to completion here, but you still got a minute on the clock.
60 seconds remaining.
Jokers are just going to continue to try and hold off and make them use at least as much time as possible. So you're going to have 51 seconds left on the clock there, so Jokers have to get their payload pushed all the way through, have some time left on the clock, and be able to get to the overtime rounds that will come afterwards, to even be able to stay alive here, as this is game 3, and Redbirds, if they're able to pull off the victory here, they will win the whole match.
Need a moment to ensure all our equations are correct.
So Jokers are going to go on the offensive side of things here.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Right once that door opens in about 30 seconds, they're going to go to their payload, push it through, and I'm hoping that they just push it through the whole time, wipe the team like 4 different times, never stop, push it all the way through, and have tons of time left. That's what I'm estimating. Totally doable. Definitely a different squad than you've seen in the past from the Chokers, as you've got Orblin on Soldier. I believe that I saw Tobias is up there with Widowmaker trying to take a couple of snipe shots. So we'll see what happens here. How this... Oh geez, Redbird's taking the fight right to the Chokers, right out of the gates. Chokers have not been able to catch one yet, but the Redbirds have picked off quite a few of the Chokers right there in spawn, which is not a good thing for them. I don't know, I don't think the Chokers were really expecting that, just got caught off guard right when they came out of the gates. So you're gonna get Orblin as Bastion, the self-inflicting turret, and you're gonna come around the corner and just let bullets fly right goodness, and a fantastic play. I think they had Fracture ready, possibly. No, they just busted right through the shields and make a great play there.
I've got you.
All better. Now.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Justice will be done.
Echo here.
The payload has come to a halt. Get moving.
And so Chokers are really struggling to get out of this spawn point right here. As you're going to see Orblin try and go all the way around with Sombra and see if he can kind of sneak up on him, but if they can't get out of spawn and they can't get onto the payload and get it to the checkpoint, it's not going to mean anything here. There you go, so this big move from Rias right there. Or sorry, Tobias. Faked me out right there with the carbon copy. Chokers have 15 seconds. They'll get to the overtime, so they just got to make sure that they can get a push going and be able to get onto site right there. A little bit of dance moves coming from Orblin. And the Redbirds just, wow, able to absolutely hold on to payload right there, not allow the Chokers to get in. And so they are going to take the third map and in turn take the full match right there and be able to move on here in the playoffs. So Chokers are once again get to the first round, not able to get through to it, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, look at it in a positive light of, hey, we got to the playoffs. So that is what we like to look at and see. And so a really good fight from the Chokers, just not able to pull it off tonight, and that will be unfortunately the end of the season for them. But 2 playoff appearances in the same year is definitely something to hang your hat on. So really proud of them. And then, like I said, we'll be moving on. It looks like tomorrow. What do we got? We got Rocket League playoffs on Tuesday, Madden playoffs on Tuesday. We should have a Warzone playoff, I think, in 2 Wednesdays. So a couple more playoffs coming your way. Just make sure you check out our social medias and see what's going on. We're trying to get back and real active in those again. So we are happy to get back on stream tonight. And so it was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed both Valorant and Overwatch coming your way. I know that I was just excited and happy to be able to get back into our office and back into our studio and do a lot of fun and get rolling and all that kind of stuff. We've been really excited and impressed with our program and really the steps that they've taken this year to continue to improve and continue to get better. And we are excited for the near future too. A lot of really great things coming our way for some summer stuff going on that we're going to have for the community for our next couple seasons coming up next year. A lot of really great recruits that have reached out and we've talked to, so we're really excited for it. But most of all, no matter what, how much you support us and watch throughout the season, we just thank you so much for hanging out with us, for coming and supporting us, and we hope that we will see you again. I believe our next stream is going to be on Tuesday for our Rocket League playoffs, and we will see you there.